All right, today we're jumping into a really beautiful story about a young monk who was brilliant. I mean, he knew everything about enlightenment, but he just couldn't seem to find it. It's a tale that pits this deep, profound theory against a very simple act, all to answer one really fascinating question. So let's just start with this. Can a philosophical concept, no matter how powerful you think it is, actually do something in the real world? Like, could you actually think a pile of firewood from one spot to another? Now, this isn't some riddle, it's the exact problem at the very heart of this story. So, our story begins at this ancient temple, and we've got this young monk who is in the middle of a serious spiritual crisis. He's just hit a wall, and no matter how many books he reads, he can't seem to break through it. And this is him, Hugong. You have to understand, this guy is incredibly smart. He's dedicated, he's memorized countless scriptures, he gets these super complex ideas like emptiness. You know, the concept that nothing really has a fixed, separate identity, that everything is interconnected. He gets it, but only on an intellectual level. Something really important is missing. He just feels stuck, like all that knowledge is trapped on the other side of a pane of glass. So he finally goes to his master, Mingzin, and he just lays it all out there. He says, look, I understand the theories, I get the logic, but I can't feel it. I'm missing some kind of force, a power that can actually bring all these abstract teachings to life. And this really brings up a universal question, doesn't it? I mean, we can all read the books, watch the tutorials, master the theories, but sometimes that's just not enough to make a real change or to take that next big step. Why is that? So Huigong's master, Ming Xin, he's wise. He doesn't just hand him another book to read. Nope. Instead, he gives him two very different, very real-world tasks, both designed to teach one single profound lesson. And check out the contrast here. It's pretty amazing. First task, move a heavy pile of firewood. The only tool he's allowed to use? The abstract theory of emptiness. Yeah, you can guess how that went, a total failure. But the second task is to deliver medicine, and the tool for that job is completely different. And the result? Well, we're about to find out. For that first task, the master's instruction is super specific. He tells Huiguang to think about the wood as empty, to see himself as empty, and then to just use his mind to move it. And Huiguang tries. He focuses all his mental energy. But of course, the firewood doesn't budge an inch. It's a complete moment of intellectual failure. Okay, now for the second task. The master's instruction here is the exact opposite. He says, forget the laws, forget the theories. The only thing you're allowed to use is your empathy, that raw feeling you have for the sick family you're about to help. The focus shifts entirely from the head to the heart. And this right here, this is where everything changes for him. It doesn't happen in the library, not in the meditation hall, but on a simple mountain path, carrying a warm bowl of medicine. This is where he has his breakthrough. As Huiguang is walking down the path, something amazing starts to happen. His mind, which is usually just cluttered with all these complex doctrines and ideas, it just goes quiet. He's not thinking about emptiness or the self. His entire focus narrows down to one simple, powerful reality: a sick mother and her worried children who really need his help. He arrives at the small home and gently, he places the warm bowl of medicine into the mother's hands. And in this moment, there's no teacher and student, there's no scripture, no philosophy, there's just one human being helping another. It's this simple, direct, powerful connection. And the mother, she's so weak and frail, she looks at him with tears in her eyes and just whispers, "Thank you." And those simple words hit Huiguang with more force than any philosophical text ever could. And right then, in that moment, Huiguang feels this surge of power inside him. But it's not some abstract intellectual power. No, this is warm, it's real, and it's born from a pure act of compassion. He finally gets it, this feeling, this connection. This is the missing force he's been searching for all along. So when Huigon gets back to the temple, his master is waiting for him. And now it's time to connect the dots, to finally link that failed intellectual task with a successful, compassionate one. And the master just nails it with this beautiful metaphor. He explains that emptiness, that understanding that things aren't as solid or separate as they seem, that's the foundation. It's the stable ground beneath our feet. But it's just ground. Compassion, he says, is the spring rain that actually allows life to sprout from that ground.
So let's break that down because it's so key. Emptiness isn't a tool for moving objects with your mind. It's a state of mind that frees you from your own ego, from your own self-interest. It basically clears the stage. And compassion? That's the actor that steps onto that cleared stage. It's the driving force, the motivation that makes you want to help in the first place.
So you see the path, right? It becomes so clear. First, emptiness removes the obstacle of me. Then, compassion provides the energy to care about you, about others. And that powerful combination leads directly to action, which is where wisdom stops being just a theory and becomes a living, breathing reality.
And this whole experience, it completely transforms Higuang. His entire approach to his practice, to his life, it's all fundamentally changed.
I mean, just look at the shift here. Before, he was lost in books, always looking inward, and he was feeling completely stuck. After, he's out in the world, actively helping people, looking outward, and he feels truly free. He's moved from being a scholar of life to being a participant in life. And that's the ultimate takeaway for him. The gate he was desperately searching for wasn't hidden in some ancient, complicated text. It was wide open, right there in the simple act of service to another person. His master leaves him with this one last, powerful statement. Compassion is the starting point. Before any technique, before any philosophy, comes that simple, human impulse to help, to care, to connect. That is the true source of power. And so this story leaves us with a question for our own lives. It suggests that all our greatest knowledge, our deepest theories, our most brilliant strategies, they all just sit there, inert, like dry earth, until they're watered by a genuine connection to others. So what is the medicine that you are meant to deliver? What help, what skill, or what simple act of kindness can bring your own knowledge to life?